fans. This is Sheila D back in the kitchen again. I am going to make me some spaghetti today. You know, spaghetti and cube steaks is the only steaks that we can't wash when we go home, right? So while this pandemic is going on, I'm going to try to stay away from that kind of meat, but this is ground beef, and I am putting some ground pepper on top of it. What I did with this ground beef is I put it in the skillet, and I put a little water on it, and I boil it down, and now I am browning it. And the reason why I am boiling this ground beef, because like I said, that's the only meat that I know you can't use, or ground chicken or turkey or something like that. You can't wash that meat, so you don't know that they clean it good, or we really don't know what they ground it all up in. But anyway, that's what I did with that. You can't be too careful these days. So I am putting some Lorry salt. I just got through putting some accent. I am going to put my onion powder. And I am going to put some of this natural season. Now when you are making spaghetti sauce, what I found out about spaghetti sauce, if you don't season it right, you in trouble. So I don't like that bland taste when I'm eating spaghetti. So I'm putting some pepper in there. And I like to put a little salt in my spaghetti sauce, but just a little pinch. So I'm gonna wait on that because I want my ground beef to cook down just a little bit more. So I got over there, I got about a half a cup of water boiling, because what I am gonna do is take this ground beef and put it into that boiling water over there. So what I do is I try to drain as much grease off of my hamburger as I can. Sometimes you go to different markets, and I tell you the hamburger be so greasy that you barely, I mean, you know, if you put the ground beef into your spaghetti sauce, then when it cooked down, you got about this much grease on top. I don't want that. So what I do is I take time to try to drain my ground beef as much as possible before I put it into the pot. And then also, you see I got this spoon and it got holes in it. So I want all the grease, as much grease possible, drain off, because I don't want it in my sauce. So as you see, what I did is I seasoned my ground beef before I put it into the pot. I am really, really particular about my spaghetti sauce. I don't like it bland. I like it to have a good flavor. So I like to drain that grease off of that ground beef. So this particular ground beef, I won't purchase that anymore. You see how much grease came off of that ground beef? I won't buy that particular brand anymore. I won't go to that particular market for ground beef anymore. It had too much grease and fat in it. So what I do is I got about this much water. got my ground beef. I am going to put in a can of pasta sauce. I am also going to put in a can of crushed tomatoes. Then while that is boiling, I am going to get all of my onions and good stuff here. So with my pasta, spaghetti sauce rather, I call it the spaghetti sauce, but some people call it pasta sauce, but I call it spaghetti sauce. I am just a old-fashioned country girl. So what I got here is I got some celery, and I am going to put a little celery in there into my pot with my ground beef, crushed tomatoes, and pasta sauce. I'm gonna put a handful of onions in there. I got me a handful of green onions. I am gonna put some garlic into my spaghetti sauce. And I am going to move our spaghetti sauce up closer. So I'm gonna take this garlic and I am gonna cut it up kind of small. I do have one of them little things that cut up all your vegetables and onions and stuff for you. I don't know why I just don't use it, but like I said, I am just an old-fashioned country girl. I just do the country way, the country things. So anyway, I am gonna put some garlic into my pot. I got me some green peppers over here. I am going to cut up a few of them and put in. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but everything I buy and cook, I just wash it extra, a little extra. These days, hey, you can't be too careful. So last Friday, I had pizza for dinner. Today, I just didn't want any more pizza. So what I am gonna do is cook me a little nice pot of spaghetti today, and I am going to put them green peppers into the pot. Sometimes if I have some fresh tomatoes, I'll throw a handful of them in there. So what I'm going to do, I seasoned the meat already. So what I am going to do now, I am going to put some accent into the pot. I am going to take me a little salt. And just sprinkle a little salt, just a little bit. Be careful with the salt, because you can put too much. I want a little bit more pepper. And then after your pots come to a boil, you're going to stir it up. And as you can see, it's really thick. I do not have a lot of water into the pot. And this is about a pound and a half of ground beef. I do not like the over, like I had some spaghetti that it had too much meat where you just couldn't enjoy it. And then I had spaghetti where not enough meat. So I just bought 1.5 pounds. As you can see, this is really thick already and it haven't even cooked down. So what I would do with my spaghetti sauce after I added all my ingredients in it, my onions, bell pepper, celery, green onions, garlic, green pepper. Once I add all that into it, I put a top on it and I turn it down and I put it on really low, like let's say simmer or medium, and I put it on simmer real low and I let it just simmer and just simmer for about at least 25-30 minutes, because you want all your garlic and green pepper, celery, green onions, you want all that to just be cooked down. So let it cook and simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then do you a taste test, and if you have to add some more season, do so. If you're a person that you don't like all of this season, then hey, just, you don't have to use all this season. That's just a taste I like, but I like my food really seasoned really well. So that's one of my weaknesses about food. So I hope that I was able to show you something good today, so you can share with your family and friends. And I'll be seeing you later. Thank you for joining my kitchen, visiting me in my kitchen today. Thank you.